Hello everybody, it's vanburman here. Welcome back to another video, and I've had a few requests to revisit the Steam Deck, and it is something that I plan on doing in a more detailed way. But for now, I just want to cover, I guess, one of the more frequent questions that I've had, which is in regards to Football Manager 2022. And I'm just going to actually load it up and show you the game is out of sync. Okay, that's fine. I'll show you anyway. So this is one that I started on the Steam Deck and been playing it quite a lot while I've been travelling. So that should give you some idea of my tolerance, I guess, for it, or maybe the lack of tolerance that's required to play it. So there are a few little quirks. I think I mentioned these before on my initial Football Manager 2022 review, but it might just be best to talk about it here. Some of the stuff that just doesn't work quite as well, and some of the stuff I've tried, some of the ways I've tried to get around it, I suppose, because it's not all straightforward and whatnot. So I figured as well, showing you, the full time sequence, loading into the game, all that sort of stuff. So I've currently got a save with Newcastle. I thought that would be interesting, given the fact they've got new owners and whatnot. I'm going to say early on, although I don't anticipate this video being terribly long, that I haven't got any of the icon packs, face packs, or anything like that, unfortunately. So that's something that I've yet to try, although I do want to. It's just a matter of putting the time in and whatnot. So while I went away to America, I found it quite difficult to get stuck into anything on the Steam Deck. I went with sort of wanting to play Borderlands 3. I hadn't played it before, and I don't know, I found it a bit much, I guess. Now, maybe that's just down to my particular amount of tolerance, which it could well be. But I also prefer games that are maybe a little bit slower pace, or you've got a bit more time to think about what you're doing. So things like Slay the Spire, for example, I found really good on the Steam Deck. Not perfect, but it's it's quite good. And basically, the point I was going to make is pretty much the same with Football Manager. So I tend to use this thumbstick to move the mouse. Now you do have a trackpad as well, but I don't know. I've used Xbox controllers and things to navigate my desktop PC, so it doesn't seem. It's not like too far away from that. It feels like fairly natural. The arrow buttons do let you go up and down, although it's not brill, I must say. The click is, you can click in with the joystick. I don't tend to do that too much. You can also click in with the trackpad, but I find that when you click in, it can move stuff slightly, so I don't really tend to do that either. I've set the bumper button up here to be my right click, which I find tends to work a bit better than anything. So you can use the arrows to go down. I've got the back buttons as scroll, I think, when they want to work, but sometimes you have to have it selected on the I've got the triggers as scroll. So yeah, that sort of helps you navigate a little bit easier, because some of the stuff is quite small to grab, particularly because it's like the full version. A is for the spacebar, so that lets me progress the game. I don't know what I've got B and X and Y set to be honest with you, because I don't really tend to use it. That's the thing with Football Manager, you don't necessarily need that much. The one big issue that there is when it comes to text input. So I've set up a button to bring up the on-screen keyboard. Now you would think, because I had the text selected, I could now be typing in here. But unfortunately what it does is it deselects the text. So I can't actually ever type anything in, and I haven't found a good solution for this really as of yet. I was hoping that the keypad on-screen keyboard would enable that. So if I want to go and let's say I want to look at Ajax's first team, I am going to struggle really. It's not all that straightforward. I mean, okay, I've got a player here that used to play for Ajax, so I can go in and eventually get to Ajax, but it's not the easiest without the on-screen keyboard. Now, maybe there is another way of going about it that I haven't considered. Well, that obviously is the number 2 apparently, and that's the number E, and that's number F, and that's number R. So yeah, it's not the greatest, I must say, for that. But you know, there is that way, which admittedly not great. Some of the other stuff that is better actually now than how I had it first set up is that you can now actually negotiate your, I don't know what you call these, like your drop downs, but they actually come up when you highlight over them, which I didn't have in my old setup Football Manager. Let's see if we will refocus, and I'll show you. No, that wasn't right. No, it's getting the reflection a bit too much on here, but yeah, anyway, so that helps considerably, I must say, from that standpoint. I tend to play my matches on the 2D classic mode as well, which runs really well. If I want to watch gold highlights, I've got them set to the 3D match, but all that tends to, work really well. And one of the sort of plus sides of it, if I just put the overlay on, and I will read it to you, is, and I mentioned this in my video before, it doesn't use a lot of battery. So I'm running at about 6 watts now, and that's letting the Steam Deck do whatever it wants. So you can legitimately get hours and hours and hours out of this. I was in, I'm not going to say why or anything, leave that for your imagination, but I was in Frankfurt Airport for 8 hours the last month, and I did have a power bank with me, but I only had to charge it about 50%, up to 50%, and I used it. And I had something left over at the end, but effectively the full battery lasted me nearly that whole stay at the airport for my layover. So Football Manager is a really good example of what you can use the Steam Deck for. I think, particularly for my use case, it fits a lot better with me. I just have to sort of be in the mood for Football Manager, really, to make use of it. It's not as good as playing it on a laptop, but it runs it really well. I don't know where I find what leagues and stuff I've got on here. I don't know offhand where that is. Is it detail level? Estimated game speed, I've got 3.5, and that's for. In any case, no point really going through it. But I've got the major leagues on there. So I've got the English, French, Spanish, Italian, Dutch. I think I normally select the Dutch one. And basically pretty much whatever it comes up for the recommended set of leagues, and obviously all the full tier of the English leagues as well. But yeah, I've got no issues with it. I've had 2 crashes, which in Football Manager terms are really annoying. But that is 2 crashes in 3 seasons worth, and I'm not. That could have happened on the desktop or laptop as well. So I don't necessarily see that as being a Steam Deck issue. Maybe more of a common issue that I've had with Football Manager itself. So hopefully that answers your question. It is down to personal use, I would say. But if you were going to get a laptop thinking that you were going to play Football Manager on it, you can obviously get a Steam Deck when they're available for about £350 in the UK. I think it's £350 or £360. So at that point, if you were just going to put Football Manager on it, you'd get an SD card down the line, put some other games on it, but you mainly wanted a Football Manager, you would probably spend that on a semi-decent laptop to play Football Manager as well. And if you know of a good way to get the text to work, put it in the comments. And if I come up with one, I will let you guys know as well. I'll probably put it in the description. But I wouldn't hold your breath because, when I was hell-bent on tinkering with it, I couldn't find a good solution through the conventional means. But I don't think it's impossible. And I think it's definitely something that could be added as well. So, have a workaround for. And if I ever do get round to adding the face packs and the icons and whatnot, then I will also make a video on that. However, I don't see any reason why it wouldn't be achievable. Probably just have to be, well, certainly have to be done in the desktop portion of it. And if it works on Linux, which I imagine it does, not confirmed, but you know, when you play Football Manager on Linux, to be able to have access to the right file format and all that sort of stuff, then it should work fine, I would suggest. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Obviously it was requested. I am planning on doing a general Steam Deck video coming up, and yeah, that'll go over a few other bits of how I found the Steam Deck. But for Football Manager itself, particularly Football Manager 2022, I should say, seeing as 23 is not really too far away, that's been my experience so far, and I'll probably do one when 23 comes out, because I usually get them, to see if there's been any improvements or how that one runs, because that'll probably play into some decisions as well. Alright, well, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and as always, I will see you all very soon. Bye for now.